You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports 2. Well, we're going to talk about the Washington Commanders, a.k.a., as far as I'm concerned, the Washington Redskins, because we know Dan Snyder, it looks like, has officially sold the team. He has agreed to sell the team to Josh Harris, the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers. Well, as you can imagine, all in unison, the entire Washington fan base pretty much celebrated, right? It's been a dumpster fire for a long time. It truly has. And, of course, the NFL did an investigation on Dan Snyder. Right now he's sweating bullets because they call it the Mary Jo White report, and he has evidently tried to get ESPN to squash that report. And they're not going to do it. They're going to release it. So there's going to be news coming out of that. And, of course, maybe we'll learn some more about the issue with John Gruden, because somebody leaked those emails, those ancient emails that John Gruden got in trouble for, leaked them to various media outlets. A lot of people have speculated that it was actually Dan Snyder that did that. We don't know. So let's get first to legendary Redskins head coach Joe Gibbs, who released a statement, and point of fact, he completely ignored Dan Snyder, and it is beautiful. It is a beautiful thing. Oh, one of the GOATs of NFL coaching ever is Joe Gibbs. Quote, "I've had the opportunity to get to know Josh Harris and the leadership team during this process and fully support his efforts to lead the new ownership group of the Commanders. The NFL has grown a great deal since my time as coach in this league, but what hasn't changed is my belief that with great leadership from the top," oh, that's a blatant shot at Dan Snyder, "the drive to win on the field and a commitment to culture," that's another shot at Dan Snyder, "championship teams are created. Josh and his team share these values, and I am committed to doing what I can to reconnect with this great franchise to the community, fan base, and alumni." That, of course, is Rappaport that reported that. I think there's multiple shots at Dan Snyder in this. Truly do. Great leadership, commitment to culture, championship teams are created, reconnect with this great franchise. So what? Dan Snyder had blackballed the great Joe Gibbs, the legendary Joe Gibbs? Wow. Wow. Well, that SOB is out, and as you can imagine, Redskins / Commander fans are rejoicing today. That's right. That's right. Mediaite. May 12th, 2023 is the day the Commander fans have been waiting for. NFL insider Adam Schefter reported Dan Snyder and Tanya Snyder, co-owners of the Commanders, have reached an agreement to sell the team. Their ownership has been marred by controversy, including reports of a toxic workplace, sexual abuse, and a federal investigation for fraud, not to mention years of subpar football. I would be willing to bet out of all those things, subpar football is what football fans actually care about. The team has not won a playoff game since 2005-2006. Fans were over the moon with the announcement. Here we go. The day is finally here. Thank you, baby Jesus. Oh, fire up the parade. Yeah, some little emojis right there. Pass me the tequila. Snyder is officially gone. What a time to be alive, my dudes. 100. We got a couple of goats here. I think there's music with this, so I'm going to turn it down. And yeah, there's some goats dancing right there. They're fired up. The fan base is fired up. And I turned off the volume so I wouldn't get a copyright strike. Let's effing go. Finally. Yeah, let's see what this says. I've been waiting. Yeah, I've been waiting. So many fans have been waiting. I can't even play this because it'll get a copyright strike, but it's pretty cool. Mood going into FedEx next season, knowing I don't have to be shamed and embarrassed of Dan Snyder anymore. I thought that was going to be a curse word, but he used a bunch of asterisks, so that's interesting. Public opinion of Dan Snyder plummeted during a period in which it seemed like constant bad news was coming from the organization. Making matters even worse this past season was when the Commanders botched their Sean Taylor tribute on the 15th anniversary of his death. It was so embarrassing. They used like a modern day version of a mannequin as like a commemorative statue for Sean Taylor in his jersey. God, it was embarrassing. I did a video on that. At one point, it was believed that Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos would submit a bid for the team, but he was barred due to the Washington Post's negative coverage of the team. Bezos owns the publication. With Bezos out of the picture, the group led by Philadelphia 76ers owner Josh Harris emerged as favorites to buy the team. The group was ultimately the one to reach an agreement. Schefter also noted the agreement is subject to league approval. They're going to approve this. I cannot even begin to fathom that they wouldn't. There's certain franchises around the league, and a lot of people don't realize this, that the NFL has had crosshairs on for a while. Why? Because they feel like the ownership of certain teams are just not built for business, okay? They want Robert Kraft. They want Jerry Jones. These guys, these outside-the-box thinkers, these big boys. Yes, eventually Jeff Bezos will be an owner in the National Football League, all right? They want Bezos in there because they want these massive personalities. The next one that was on the board here was the Las Vegas Raiders, okay? There's been a feeling for a long time that Mark Davis is not the kind of guy they want leading the franchise. However, the Raiders are printing money right now because of this move to Vegas. That shit worked out for the Raiders. And I can't help but feel that there was a big, big reason that Tom Brady is joining the Las Vegas Raiders as a partial owner. He brings the name recognition that the NFL is looking for when it comes to ownership. And plain and simple, I think Mark Davis is catching on to that because the league, by and large, felt like Mark Davis could not do the job and needed to be out. I don't know why the frick they think Jimmy Haslam. Why isn't anybody targeting that D-bag, for crying out loud? He's a clown show if there ever was. But, the people that own the Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys, Patriots, that's the kind of ownership they want in the league. And yes, even Stan Kroenke. We got to remember that move out of St. Louis had a great deal to do not only with what the NFL wanted, but what Jerry Jones talked Stan Kroenke into doing. A lot of people are like, well, the attendance is always embarrassing out there. It is. I mean, it's in large part turns into a road game for the Rams. But Jerry Jones was adamant about the fact the NFL needed an LA market because of television. And they got two teams. Now, one could certainly argue it hasn't worked out for the Chargers. Chargers had a chance to go to Vegas, I think, a few years back. If you were going to move out of San Diego, which I don't feel like they necessarily should have done, I mean, they should have, if anything, found a new owner there, Spanos, right? The fans hate his ass. And figured out a way to keep that club in San Diego because even though they didn't always draw great, man, they had a passionate fan base down in San Diego. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.